Hello and welcome to Retro Gaming Swede. My name is Oskar and today I'll show you 5 great shoot 'em ups for the Sega Master System. Some of them are absolute classics and some are games that's not really talked about anymore. There's even one for the Sega 3D glasses and one has gotten a recent remake by fans. That's totally free, by the way. Check out the link in the description if you want to check it out. It's pretty awesome. Oh, and one of them was never released in the US, only in Europe and Brazil. But do you have a favorite shoot 'em up on the Sega Master System? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like when you're down there. Do you like colorful graphics? Do you want to kill all cute things in the world? The first game is the excellent Fantasy Zone. So we'll start off with the first game in one of my favorite game series of all time. With its super cute sprites and colorful graphics, this is one of those games you should play at least once before you die. It's a fantastic shoot 'em up, but don't be fooled by the cute graphics. This is, as most games of its genre, quite hard. It is a real old school coin eater. The objective is to destroy enemy spawning bases scattered around the levels, and unlike most shoot 'em ups, you can fly both left and right, with the level looping indefinitely. This is actually kind of cool and makes you want to check out the entire level and see all the beautiful backgrounds. Once in a while a shop appears where you can buy upgrades for your ship, special weapons and extra lives. I usually go for the extra lives early on because every time I buy an upgrade I tend to die before I can get a chance to actually use it, and the weapons only work for a set amount of time anyway. The ship you're playing as is called Opa Opa and is probably Sega's first mascot, and it has feet! Anyway, if you want to play a really awesome shoot 'em up on the Sega Master System, this is a really solid buy. Do you like giant shooting robots? Who doesn't, right? Do you like spaceships? Of course you do. What if your spaceship could change into a robot? Yeah, that's cool! Check this out! Transbot! Now I know this doesn't look like much, but I really enjoy it. It didn't get the highest scores in magazines back then, and hardly anyone is talking about it nowadays. But this little game has something that just makes me coming back. I really like it and I just can't tell you why. You play as a generic spaceship shooting down other generic enemies. Once in a while a truck comes from the left, and if you shoot it, a power-up spawns. You can only use one power-up at a time and they all have limited ammo, so you have to make them count. When you get one, the letters on top of the screen start flashing in sequence, and if you press the one button at the letter you want, you'll get that power-up. Some of them lets you turn into a cool robot. Stay away from the A and F because they suck. This procedure can break your concentration a bit, so make sure to not be in harm's way as you're trying to time it just right. The music is kind of catchy, but it's on a really short loop, so you will most likely get tired of it in just a short while. You do have a life bar in this game, which is kind of awesome, although you don't get any continues. I guess that's because the game only has 2 levels. Only 2 levels? Yeah, don't freak out, because the game loops indefinitely, so it won't just end on you. The first stage has a really nice scrolling background for a game released in '85, and generally the game looks great considering its age. This can be found for really cheap on the online market of your choice, and if you have a Master System, there's really no reason not to get this. Remember when I said there was a game in this video with a fairly recent fan remake? This is it, and it's available to play right now. I really think you should, because it's absolutely great. Seeing this game given the remake treatment is such a joy. Check out the link in the description for more information. If you've been playing shoot 'em up games for a while, chances are really high that you've played the next game or one of its sequels. Do you like the art of H.R. Geiger? Do you like shooting aliens? This is the amazing R-Type. This is another absolute classic game with the awesome alien-inspired art style, inventive enemy sprites, and awesome backgrounds. This is another one of those games that should be experienced at least once in your lifetime. And yes, the Master System version looks absolutely awesome for an 8-bit system. However, there is the annoying flickering problem. When there's too much going on at the same time, you simply can't see what's happening, and you can get hit once in a while by an invisible bullet. It's not as bad as in other games, but it can get pretty annoying. Another thing is that the first level is harder than both the second and the third level. On the first level, you have this kill circle in the mid part of the level, where you're supposed to go in and shoot the blue thing. All the while the other enemies keep shooting you. I die here at least 4 out of 5 tries. If anyone knows of a foolproof way to get past this, please tell me, it's driving me nuts. Otherwise, this is one of those games that sort of tells your brain to just try another time. You'll get a bit longer each time, so I most often just keep playing and playing until I get a little bit further and a little bit further. And I think that is the way a shoot 'em up should work. They're all hard as hell, but the more you play them, the more fun you'll get out of them. So pick this up if you want to experience a piece of shoot 'em up history. Oh, and there's a cheat code to give you more continues. Just rotate the D-pad during the continue screen, and every second roll you'll get a new continue. I mean, if you're really struggling. Are you tired of space shooters by now? Want to change out the generic star backgrounds for some blue? Want to see a game not released in the US? Who doesn't? Submarine Attack! The first thing you'll notice when starting this game is the amazing title music. That sounds awesome! The second is that it's just a little bit slower than the other games. You move slower and you shoot slower. But I don't think that takes away anything. If anything, I think this just adds to the playability of the game. Another thing you'll notice is that you don't just fight other things underwater. There's both helicopters and normal boats on and above the surface that sends sink bombs your way. On the early levels, this is also where you'll get your power-ups. Once in a while, a special boat will show up, and if you shoot it, you'll get a power-up. These can either be health restore, weapon upgrades, or speed increases. I know it might look a bit bland. I mean, it almost looks as bad as something on the NES. But this was released during a time when both the US and Japan had given up on the Master System, and Sega solely focused on the Mega Drive and Genesis in those markets. But we over in Europe got quite a few games after that, together with Brazil. Some looked absolutely amazing and some looked a bit bland. That might also be the reason nobody is talking about this gem of a game. The only bad thing I can say about this game, except for the slightly boring graphics, is that the bosses are a bit on the easier side. Especially the first one. But as a bonus, this game is also super cheap. So if you want to experience some submarine shooting action, this is a must-have game. The last one is one of those games made for the Sega 3D glasses. And yes, we're back in space now. don't have the Sega 3D glasses, or you're playing on a Master System 2, you can turn the 3D effect by pressing pause in the main menu. Anyway, here's Zaxxon 3D. Yeah! I've always loved Zaxxon! They made some killer songs! I mean, Strangers in the Night is awesome! No, not that Zaxxon. Zaxxon with a Z and 2 X's. This is one of the best games to showcase the pretty awesome 3D effects you could get out of your Master System console in the late 80s. And you get to look cool wearing some nice looking sunglasses inside. If you're not playing the game with the glasses though, it might be hard to see why I like this game so much. All of the depth you get when playing this as intended just disappears. Unfortunately, I can't show you how the 3D effect works, but it is similar to the fast flickering left and right of modern active 3D glasses, I think. It can also be hard to see on what plane you're on compared to the enemy ships in the open space sections. Fortunately, you have a crosshair that shows up when you're on the right height. That makes it a lot easier. The tunnel sections looks absolutely amazing in 3D and are the easiest to play through without the glasses. All in all, this is a really solid shoot 'em up game that many may have passed because of the Sega 3D logo on it. And yes, if you want to experience the game as it was intended, it can get a bit pricey. But if you already own the glasses, this is the first game you should get for them. So, that was 5 Master System shoot 'em ups. What do you think? Have you played all of these? What do you think of the Sega 3D glasses? Tell me in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider to leave a like and subscribe for more retro gaming videos. Or if you absolutely hated it, share this with your enemies. I usually post my main content on Wednesdays and try to do one live stream each weekend. Anyway, I hope to see you again. Goodbye. Så, nu har jag